it. It was just that basically I was left out. And you felt like, well, who's this fucking really cool geezer I'm not a part of? Well, if he's that cool and he's not a part, well, I won't be a part of that cool geezer then. I realised that really cool geezer thought I was cool and said, I want you to be a part of my ship. Personally, I want you on the crew. It was like, bloody hell. And then it all just, whew, it was like, fucking love Keith Richards. Bloody hell, I ended up just like Keith Richards, on my own, not well liked by the rest of my fucking people around me. My stubborn views, constantly smoking, taking things that I shouldn't be. Always finding a way to con the doctors into giving me stronger medication. It's just really Keith Richards, mate. You've just idolised yourself on him, basically. You just moulded your fucking own performances on him. And took the piss out of Mick Jagger in his honour. You idolised him that much. And you can give the detailed reasons with examples of what great he did and what shite the other kite did compared to our Keith. There is no comparison. There's just no comparison there. It's wrong to put Richards and Jagger on the fucking songs, in my opinion. Because if you actually gave Keith Richards the credit for what he did, you would find that there's literally like one song on each album, if that, of Mick Jagger. Tears Go By on the earlier album. I can't it Out of Their Heads or fucking shit. Adam even liked the song. He said, yeah, but it's like it. Didn't like it. About I love the one. I love Mother's Little Helper. You can tell that straight up, Keith. Immediately, it's just like that's such a Keith thing to see. Yeah, that's fucking opium. It's opiates. This is not opium. Opiates. What's the word? Morphine, codeine. Fine, we got there in the end. Codeine. That's codeine. That is. Well, that's worth writing about. Mint. I have to play that one. What a drag it is getting old. Things are different today. I hear every mother say, Mother needs something today to come down. Oh, she's not very ill. There's a little yellow pill. She goes searching for the helper. I can't remember it. I need the lines. Shelter of her mother's little helper, and to help her on. I mean, that just fed into Gimme Shelter, which is straight up Keith. Running to the shelter of her mother's little helper, give me shelter. Rape children, it's just a shot away. The point where Mick doesn't sing it properly, that you can't hear what he's saying, because it's like, it's a song which is going, give me shelter from this paedophile. He's even singing it. It's genius. The guy's a genius. There's something about a backstreet lady, basically. I can have this, basically. I can treat you like a whore. Have this wife over here. Treat you like a whore. It's horrible. It's like, what a horrible song. The point is just I mean, there's a few things with Backside Images of Stones. Thanks to Mick. So they did the Howling Wolf thing, and then they did this other one where it was like, oh Jesus. It was like that. You can tell the whole band's cringing being there, except Mick Jagger, who's loving the fact the presenter's picking out different teenage girls for him to fucking groom. It's disgusting. It's like, oh my God, this is not what the Stones was about. It wasn't a fucking dating show for Mick Jagger to rape as many children as he can. It was something that Keith actually thought, once, right, there was once a time in the 60s where Paul McCartney wouldn't even say the name of the band, let alone start saying they're a covers band. It just scared them. They didn't like mentioning the name, the Rolling Stones. Why? They were the ugliest band in Britain. Yeah, you had the loudest band in Britain with The Who, but the Stones, thanks to Keith, was the ugliest band in Britain. They were known, oh yeah, we'd talk about the Beatles, not to mention the Stones, the ugliest band in Britain, because of how many countries Keith had already been banned in, and he'd already served time in jail. And the music they were banging out, it was just scaring people, some of Keith's fucking lines. It was brilliant. Get off of my cloud. Brilliant idea of just celebrating space. This is my cloud of blues music, rock music, love for Britney. Get off it if you don't want to be on it. Fuck you. This is a great cloud and it's flying. It's a brilliant song. The only time I could really sing it well, Keith, was when I was on my bike and I was just singing, just screaming at the song at the top of my lungs. It was mint. Because of like the loudness of the traffic, it was like I was just a horn. I live out around the 99 for my blog. Mint. You could really just let yourself fucking loose. That's what I did, Keith. Before fucking where Keith just excelled his guitar work, I just spent ages screaming. Before you've got to break those vocal cords in the first place. I started my singing just screaming. Literally, if anybody heard me in the years when I first started picking up guitar, they would tell you it was a certain kind of audience who would like his music. As in no one. You can imagine how bad the Chimes of Freedom sounded. And all the rest. Constantly, I'd focus here on the throat for a while. It was constantly here, apart from using your diaphragm and all of that. I wrote a song I never read. I loved what you did, Sympathy for the Devil. Was there another song by could have been Jason Segel's Dracula's Lament. I thought that was a great song. I just loved how much his relationship's fallen apart. He's done fuck all for months. There's a moment where he's like playing with like stuffed toys in a battle scene or something. Like that was a day of activity for him, sort of thing. He's like that depressed. He just, this whole time you see him like piecing this one song together. And you just think, for all this depression, for all that, it's going to be good. It's got to be good because you can tell he's put a lot of time. Really, that's what he's put his time into. That's what's driven her to hate him in the first place, is that he was so driven to write this one song. He realised that she was not for him and him not for her, sort of thing, in the process. And he's just still carried on with this song. He plays it, everything's been taken into consideration. The sound of the voice, the fact that he's going to make it sound like he's from Transylvania. He's also a Muppet. So he's got to have that Muppet-like accent, plus a Transylvanian accent, and make it sound tuneful. It's and it's a piano piece, which is just difficult to play piano. I loved that bit. I thought that was a brilliant bit in the film. That was like my favourite bit in the film. We got Mila Kunis, really fine, backing him. He's like found his fine lady. She's backing him in its mint. And he really puts his heart and soul into that. They even made a Muppets movie with him starring in it, putting a lot of his creative direction in it because of how much he put effort into actually writing that song. It's brilliant. Really, really solid, great song. I don't know what happened to that song, well, my one. I just thought, I robbed Alan Moore straight off. It was like, jump the devil, and this is what he had to say. So it was based on a bit like, I had this fixation that I could go to the crossroads and set some aside. It doesn't work, I don't think it works like that, but tell you the truth, I never quite got there. I'd love to say I sold my soul years ago, and my soul was already in hell. I couldn't sell it. But it's a great Keith Richards line, is it not? Did you sell your soul to the devil, did you? My soul is already in hell. I couldn't sell it. It's already been sold. The deal was done before I even came up here. What a fucking response. Mint. Up jump the devil, this is what he had to say. I own everything in life. That doesn't pay. I own the Pope, the Cardinal, the Queen, and the head of the CIA. I own, fuck. I own something, something to do with hands, because it then rhymes with Lady Justice's hands. Something stands or something. Lady Justice's hands. But really, if you've gone into the day, I own the board of people that blindfolded her. Kept it that way. The statue of the devil in Madrid, 6,666 metres above sea level. True story, true. That is a true set of numbers there. Pretty shit, is it not? The Kaiser had the most prank called fucking phone in Germany because he wanted to have 666 in the middle of his number. The Kaiser, you'll love this. I got one for free. It was the best phone I had. And 07934 666 185. That was the one phone I well regret getting rid of. What a fucking number. And I just got rid of it. Egypt. Never saw the significance of it. I mean, for fuck's sake, it's 666 for Christ's sake. What was wrong with me? A lot of things. I love his new album as well, mate. I think it's great. The thing with Keith, you can listen to some of his new shit, and before you've even clicked on it, you don't feel disappointed. Where a lot of musicians, I don't even, you know, from the glory days, I don't even bother clicking on their shit because I just think that's not gonna be good already, just by seeing it, just what it is about. When we were new, what the fuck is that? And Rod Stewart's one. What the fuck was that, Rod? That's just so gay. You're meant to be rock and roll. You're meant to make this sound great. You're not meant to make it sound like you're fucking senile and you've run out of words and things to say that you're just going to go down memory lane. What the fuck is wrong with you? So tell it's been ghost written as well. But especially the fact that Paul came up with When We Were New just before it, which was a shite song anyway. And Rod thought, oh, that's the way we're selling things as 60s artists now. I better follow. It's like, you fucking idiot. You made some great shit, Rod, working with that guitarist and doing fucking You Wear It Well and still having the faces on there. So even Keith made sure that that was allowed to happen, even though Ronnie was working under his label now. And he still was making sure, yeah, because it just looked sick. Ronnie Lane, Ronnie Wood, Rod Stewart kicking the footballs out, top of the pops. What? Do 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 do. Mint. And then he fucking does. I don't even know what Rod's one's called. Come on. That's Chuck Berry. Oh, he was a paedophile as well, but yeah, he was just a paedophile, was he not? Chuck Berry. It was a shame. It was a real shame. We were all gutted. Chuck Berry was a nonce. It was like, oh, for fuck's sake, Chuck as well. Ah, he was like you know, that was like Keith's Bob Dylan. Do you know what I mean? He was that ray of hope in music. And then he fucking got done for all sorts. Later videos, Berry recorded of himself urinating on a woman and another of her defecating on him was surfaced. Wow, so it wasn't like, oh, he just pissed on her. No, she did shit on him. Uh, 6 months suspended. Yeah, child abuse. Oh, no. But that's because he had a bit of dope on him. He might not be as bad as I thought, you know. Might be Little Richard. Little Richard's a right kike. He might not be a nonce. Well, that's Google, mate. So that's Google. I don't know that one. I haven't spoken to my boss. He might be going, mate, he was sick. What the fuck are you doing here? Whoa. But, mate, I don't know. I just remember reading something where it said he was a paedophile. He had a lot of teenage... Yet one detail was noted in many articles about him that he was a multiple sex offender. 59, he was arrested for taking a 14-year-old girl, Janice Escalante, across state lines for immoral purposes, a crime of which he eventually served 2 years in prison. At least he fucking got done for it. But you know, that's why everybody's quick to jump on the whole. I mean, Mick Jagger's done far worse paedophilia than Chuck Berry. He's never been done for it. You're honest with yourself. He should be in a fucking prison. You know, for sex offenders. Yeah, he should be in a paedophile's prison in the UK. One of the worst examples of paedophiles just getting away. You know, to the point where there's, apart from me and Keith are beginning to say, nobody's ever gone on about how much of a paedophile Mick Jagger is. And Keith's his let down mate, basically. The one who fucking believed in him more than anybody and was let down by him more than anybody. And he just thinks, fuck him. I don't care. I'm Keith Richards. I wrote some great shit. I did do some fucking great shit. Who the fuck are you anyway? Who the fuck is Mick Jagger? What Keith Richards used to say. He had it on a t-shirt. That's the one. Immediately you can tell it's Keith. That was the difference. That was the straight up Brian Jones was sick. Brian Jones is who Mick basically copied. God was good to Brian. As in, you'd think he would not be. Oh, he died at 27. But he died in his youth, 27, before he could do anything wrong. You know, he had a wife, loved him, going to his head. He was the original Mick Jagger, basically. Everybody loved those lips, which Mick copied from Brian, basically. And you can see it. Mick's trying hard to pout those lips to make them like Brian Jones's, and Brian just effortlessly has those lips because they are Brian Jones's. It was the whole point of fucking, that's why Mick really hated Pirates of the Caribbean. The whole point of Bootstrap Bill was that they took the piss out of Mick so brilliantly well that they even made out his father was Brian Jones. He was that inspired by it. That he Bootstrap Bill Turner. Mick's dad. Brilliant. Because he basically was. You had two, basically. You had Street Fighting Man, which was just straight off Mick Jagger. You can't even hear what he's fucking saying. Oh, what? Well, it sounds racist. What will a Wagga boy do, is what it sounds like. I think he says, what can a poor boy do? The way he said, what can a poor boy do? It sounds like, and I think he's trying to say that, so it sounds a bit raunchy, but he just sounds like an introverted racist. What can a Wagga boy do? Why would you want to say that? You're playing Bucking Blues, you dipshit. You immediately bastardised Jumping Jack Flash. I was born in a craft hurricane. I feel down at my mouth in the driving rain. And I right now, back to the chaos. I still Ari. At the Jumping Jack Flash as I get scales. Mint. I mean, Cream wrote Born Under a Bad Sign just because they heard that and thought, that's good. It's just that initial fucking first few lines. They titled their song Born Under a Bad Sign. And that's all it is, the title. You're like, this sounds good. Start listening, you're bored as fuck. Just want to listen to Jumping Jack Flash again. Nailed it.